What's going on, family? Dante Philippe here. Welcome to the Message Power, subtitled The Eclipse. Going to be one of the most powerful messages possible series that you've heard. I'm going to tell you right now, tune in, listen closely, get prepared for some great insight, wisdom that you can take and apply to your life. I promise you that. Thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, thank you for being a part of the YouTube channel. Thank you for being a part of the Facebook channel and Instagram. Without further ado, let's get into this message. As you know, in the show Power, every character is very polarizing, having an aspect of themselves that you can either relate with or is very different from who you are, but has a thread within it that says, I want to succeed and I want to pursue happiness. If we deal with the characters, James St. Patrick, we can see a little bit of ourselves. Each one of us can see a little bit of ourselves inside of James St. Patrick. Whether or not you've sold drugs in your life, whether or not you've ever been a part of something illegal is irrelevant. But the point is that James St. Patrick has a part of himself that is very different, or that is very polarizing. You have James St. Patrick, who is the father, who is the business owner, who is a community servant, who is the husband, and who just wants to live a life of freedom and to be a citizen that contributes to his community. But there is a polarizing part of James called Ghost. And Ghost lives in a very different world from James. Ghost lives in a world where there are no police and you live and die by your word. He lives in a place where there's no politics, where there is no voting in or voting out. You either are living and you are surviving through what you are experiencing, or you are at risk of dying in the environment that Ghost lives in. Ghost has to cover his tracks. Ghost has sometimes to be deceitful and to hide and to scheme in order to protect himself and his family. A very polarizing character from James. Ghost has to watch his back and deal with betrayal and unravel many puzzles very quickly and rapidly on a daily basis. The reason why this is so powerful is because right now, life for many of us is like the very human character of James St. Patrick and Ghost that becomes a eclipse, if you will, where light and darkness cross in the same space. Many of us are in a place in our life right now where last month we were doing well, everything was shining and feeling good and amazing, and you knew your life was moving up and going forward. And then you hit a moment for some reason where everything started feeling dark and confusing, and you didn't know if you still loved the person you were with, or you didn't know if you still wanted the job that you have, or you don't know if you still want to be in the business that you're in, or you don't know if you should keep going or stand still. You don't know if your relationships or your friendships are real. People that you thought had your back don't have your back no more. There are circumstances that are causing you to question yourself, causing you to question your decisions. Life is becoming an eclipse where light and darkness are crossing the same space. As you can see, these polarizing characteristics seem to fight for power within the same body. You both have James St. Patrick and Ghost occupying the same space, the sun and the moon occupying the same space. And understand that there are people in his life that are connected to Ghost, and then there's people in his life that are connected to James, and he has to tuck Ghost away when it's time to be James, and he has to tuck James away when it's time to be Ghost. There is something in our lives that causes us to deal with the levels of polarity in life, and causes us sometimes to slip into depression, slip into confusion, and we don't know which way to go. Life feels like an eclipse. I want to encourage you in this moment to understand the very season that you are in right now. The season that you are in right now is discovering the fact that there is power in your pain and that there is destiny in your darkness. I want you to understand that this season that you are in, you are discovering the highest heights of your potential, and that you have to go down the dark alleyways of your own life in order to discover the light and the sun that is hiding behind the darkness. I know that it doesn't feel good, that it's painful, it's confusing. You haven't done as much work as you used to do. You haven't been as passionate as you were. You haven't been as loving as you were. You haven't been as motivated as you were at one time. But right now, I'm telling you that this is a signal and a sign that the very things you've been working for, that you are at the door. It is the eclipse of life. Understand that James St. Patrick is experiencing the benefits of ghosts, and ghosts sometimes experiences the benefits of James. I want you to understand something, that your life right now is reaching a level of balance where you have to accept the imperfections that are inside of you and keep moving in the talents and the potentials that you have. That you cannot give up on where you're going because of the struggles that you have within your character, or the struggles that you have within your life, or the things that you have not yet perfected. You cannot hold yourself back from what you are destined to do and the impact you are purposed to have in this lifetime. You have to get going. You have to dig deep inside yourself and overcome the pain of your own disappointments that you've had within yourself. And you've got to start to say, it's time for me to move forward. Let me let you know something. It is your mistakes. It is your decisions that you are not proud of. It is going to help you discover the purpose that is inside of you and the destiny that you were looking for all this time. It is time for you to awaken inside of this eclipse. All of us have James and Ghost in the same body. It can be very difficult because you just want one of them to win. I'm tired of being Ghost, James says. I don't want to be Ghost anymore, but Ghost just keeps figuring out a way to rise. Every time James thinks he makes a step forward, here comes Ghost right behind him saying, I still need you. I still got to survive. I still got to make it. I'm not finished yet. There's something inside of us that we are facing when we think that we got it all together and the marriage is going right, and then we fail and we make a mistake, or we have an argument that feels like we're not going to get through it, or when you feel like that your business was going well and it was rising and the influence was growing, and then all of a sudden everything starts to fall apart. There is a part of you, there is the Ghost that keeps on chasing the James St. Patrick. You've got to keep going. You can't allow the polarity to stop you from where you're going. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the eclipse. Don't allow your pain to overcome your pleasures, and don't allow your pleasures to take away your ability to go through your pain. It is now your time. It's all about truth. You've got to start managing your James and your Ghost.